and welcome to another video. Today I will be doing my veterinary school orientation for clinical year at Virginia, Maryland, and I'm pretty excited. It is actually tomorrow morning, so I just kind of wanted to briefly talk about what I did today to prepare myself for orientation tomorrow. Because it wasn't too much, because I ended up spending the day with my family and lost track of time. This morning I did have to go to the student services department to get my 2 ID badges. So I did have to take a picture this morning, which I didn't know about. So when you do come to the school from SGU, you will need 2 separate ID cards. And then you need to go to parking services. So there's been quite a bit of confusion about parking situation, so I really have no idea if I got the right parking pass this morning or not. I will find out tomorrow if I have a massive fine parking in a parking lot where I can't be, but I don't know what else to do because we have orientation tomorrow all day, so I really don't know what they expect from us because we just got here. Anyway, parking this morning was a whole fiasco. We were given addresses to both places within our welcome letter and orientation information. I've done a little bit of unpacking, not a whole lot, but hopefully tomorrow I will unpack the rest of my stuff. For tomorrow though, it is going to be an all-day orientation day, going over different policies, doing a vet school tour, and I'm not quite sure what else. I believe we are taking headshots as well, which I'm not too sure why we are required to do that, unless it's for our professors to learn our names before we get there. But tomorrow we do have to wear business casual, so if you are coming to Virginia, Maryland, just keep that in mind. No matter what track you're in during orientation, you do have to wear business casual. I have no idea what I'm wearing yet tomorrow. It's currently 11:30 at night, so I am going to get some sleep. I just got out of the shower. I clipped my nails because our nails have to be pretty short in the veterinary field, just so we don't injure patients or anything. I honestly have not been feeling too good today. I've had a massive migraine all day, pretty much, and I just don't know what more I can do to get rid of it, besides my medication and relaxing, resting a little bit. So I'm just going to go to bed earlier tonight to hopefully get rid of my migraine before tomorrow, because tomorrow is going to be a very long day. We start at 8 o'clock in the morning and probably don't finish until like 4 or 5 o'clock at night. I am super excited to be getting into the orientation stuff and sharing it with you. And if you do have any questions, please let me know down below, and I will be happy to answer those for you. And let's get into this amazing orientation day. I am back from orientation, day 1, and today went pretty well. It was definitely a lot of discussion about policies and how to sign up for our external rotations. I have a lot of work to do for that because I have 21 weeks worth of externships. So obviously, the more externships you have, the more work you have to do. We had about 3 or 4 separate meetings, and then I had my own individual meeting with the public corporate director, just to make sure that I'm getting everything squared away and making sure that I'm following every single step that I can. I already submitted my vacation for September, so I have my days off there so I can start planning that trip. It's going to be a very busy year. I'm pretty nervous. When I got home, a lot of stuff happened, and it wasn't good stuff. I got scammed through my PayPal account, and they actually accessed my computer, which was really scary. And turns out that the phone number didn't even match the PayPal customer service. So that was honestly not fun to deal with that. I had to change all of my passwords just to make sure that none of my money was missing. And then I am also dealing with the fact that my car was hit on Sunday night, and I'm gonna have to take it to the dealership on Thursday to get that sorted out. And then also our stove and oven decided to not work when I was heating food, and I didn't realize it until a little bit later. So my dinner took a little bit longer tonight than expected. Honestly, everything's okay though. I'm just pretty stressed out. This is not really the best first impression, and it's been really hard. Tomorrow, though, is Wednesday, and I actually have a shadowing day for my first clinical rotation, and that is going to be with anesthesiology. That is my first rotation here, and I'm pretty nervous. I have to be there at 7:30 tomorrow morning, so I am going to go get some sleep and get ready for tomorrow. So I will see you all in the morning. Before I head out, wish me luck, and I will see you when I get back. I just made it back from my orientation day shadowing the anesthesia team, and today went pretty well. It was a little slow in the morning, which I'm okay with because we were still trying to figure things out. But we actually had an SGU student who is currently here and has been doing rotations since January show us around the anesthesia department because they've been in it for 2.5 weeks at this point, so she knew pretty much what to do. And sometimes anesthesia can be busy, they said, and then sometimes it's slow. It really does depend on the week and the day, and they spread the cases throughout the time that the students are in the rotation together. It looks like each of them on average were doing 5 procedures at least for anesthesia during the 3-week period, so it's not very much. They said it's kind of slow, so maybe my rotation will be a little bit busier. I'm not quite sure. It looks pretty interesting. The rounds for anesthesia this morning was a lot different than SGU, which is a good thing because anesthesia rounds at SGU was kind of very intense and not like the best learning method. And then with the anesthesia rounds here, they actually talked about some interesting facts. They talked about a specific topic that day, and we were able to ask any questions that we wanted to make sure that we understood ECGs and different heart rates and heart rhythms. So it was a pretty interesting way to see the difference of at least the anesthesia rounds. I'm sure it's going to be very different across the board. So it's going to be a good rotation, I think. Getting kind of nervous though because I don't know how well I'm going to do, but today was pretty interesting because I got to help out a little bit with one of the horses that was getting an MRI, and I was able to help recover it just by holding the head a little bit while the patient was kind of semi-awake, and it was getting more aware of its surroundings, so we were letting the horse walk around the stall freely instead of having it hooked up to us to help support the head and the back end. So that was pretty cool to do. That was the first time that I've ever seen a horse dropped for anesthesia before. And then after that, we got a cow that had squamous cell carcinoma around the eye. So it was very interesting to see it. That's kind of how today went. And then the rest of the evening, I just plan on unpacking the rest of my stuff and getting that video edited so you can see the moving in process. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe for more. And if you do have any questions about the orientation process, please let me know down below, because it is definitely a process. I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you guys next time.